Hello, everyone. Joel Fiesel here, your financial agent for life insurance and retirement. Today, I'm going to be starting up a series that I'll be doing a video on this time to time called The Life of a Life Insurance Agent. And I'm going to be sharing different experiences that I've had with either with my clients or on the agent side, writing applications, different situations that I thought were fascinating. I'd like to share those with you. So if you're someone that's looking for, a good life insurance agent, or if you're looking to become a life insurance agent, this video may be for you. And so today I'm going to be sharing information on a situation that happened to me. And this is going to be more of a video for an agent, somebody looking to become an agent, or maybe they are an agent, just want to hear some neat stories. And so this one was my biggest surprise application. Of all the years I've been doing this one just stands out to me because it was quite shocking. And let me explain what happened. So this was a lead, and I was working a mortgage protection lead, which is basically somebody that's looking to get insurance, a life insurance policy to cover their home. And so this was back when we met with people in person, before COVID. And I remember this person that I ended up having a meeting with, and I've been calling and basically trying to meet. We're having problems coordinating because she's really busy, and she goes, "Well, I can meet you today if you're available." And I happened that day was a slow day. I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So we went, and I met her at a Chick-fil-A, and what was I've had a lot of meetings where I've met people at different places, not their home or not their business. Sometimes at a coffee shop, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, whatever it may be, wherever we can meet. And I met this person here, and she was looking at the coverage, and I was showing her different plans, and I showed her an option that basically had sometimes you get people looking at mortgage protection for different reasons. Sometimes they're looking at it for just pure death benefit. If they die, it pays the house off, and for their family. And other times you have people that are looking for some additional benefits. If they get sick or ill or disabled, or maybe even cash back. And I remember I showed this girl a couple options. As a term policy for 20 years and 30 years, and basically I think the plans were somewhere between $150 and $200 a month. And she's like, oh, "Okay, these are good and all," but it didn't really excite her, right? And I remember that she said to me, she goes, "Well, what can this do for me? I'm looking for what's this going to do for me? I mean, I die, sure, it helps my family, but what about me right now? What can it do for me?" And so at that point, I said, "You know what? Let me show you a plan." And I was just looking for something that, just show a lot of things it could do, right? And then it's up to her to choose what she wanted. And so I pulled up, I remember pulling up, it was a National Life policy that I pulled up, and because I was thinking about it because of all the living benefits that it offers. National Life has some of the most living benefits of any plan that I've seen in the industry. And I know they were one of the first companies to offer living benefits. They have their terminal, chronic, critical illness, Alzheimer's as well. So it's a pretty awesome policy for benefits. And then I remember I showed her an option with National Life, with living benefits. And then I showed her an option with National Life that was an index universal life policy where she could get her, builds cash up where she could potentially get her cash back, at the end of the 30 years. And then, or, she could choose to, use it to supplement her retirement. And again, we're looking at, she's like $150 to $200. And then I show her this plan, this National Life with the living benefits. She, liked it better. But then I showed her the index universal life with the actual, obviously where it builds the cash value. And she goes, "Oh, I like this. Oh, yeah, I like this." And she goes, and I don't remember what I plugged in. I might have gave her an example of like paying $500 a month. I think I told her, "Hey, this is going to be more money," because I think I might have initially done it with just trying to get her cash back. And she goes, "Well, what if I put $2,000 a month into this? What would this look like?" And so, we're going from 150 to 200, then all of a sudden to 2,000. Big difference, right? So I always say, don't ever judge a book by its cover. You never know. And this might have surprised some of you. Okay, it's like, again, it surprised me a little bit going from this amount to this amount. Usually in mortgage protection, most people pay under $200 a month. So when you're going to get people that will go higher than that, but 200 to 2,000, big difference, right? And so, but I was, trying to hear what her needs were, and then showing something that could, fit what she was looking for. And when I found it, that is when she said, "What about 2,000?" So then I plugged in 2,000, and I showed her, well, you can also use this to where you can maybe supplement your retirement, when you retire, with a tax-free income through loans, and you can do that with an index universal life policy. It's a number one, it's a life insurance policy, but it also builds this cash value that can be used to supplement retirement or tax-free loans. And I remember showing her this, and I don't remember how old she was now, but it was basically projecting, I think, like $20,000 a year income, and she's like, "I like this a lot." And then it went from, like, again, 200 to 2,000 at Chick-fil-A. And then she goes, "Okay, well, what do I got to do to qualify for this?" And so I did an application right there at Chick-fil-A. Now, this one, I'm trying to remember, I think this was a paper application. I had my computer with me. I think I was doing that for the illustrations, but I'm pretty sure I did paper. I might have done electronic. I don't know. But anyways, that was my biggest surprise story at Chick-fil-A, of all places, right? 200 to 2,000. And so, anyways, it was definitely one of my biggest surprises, biggest shocks. I was super excited, and she's been a great client. Um, you know, we talk every year, sometimes multiple times a year. She sent me other family members, and so it's I try to take care of my clients, but it was a pretty neat situation. So I know that as you do the business, you have situations that pop up, and that's why I'm doing these recordings, because I want to share these with you. Again, if you're someone that's looking to be a client, looking for a good agent, or someone that's looking for a good home to be an agent, to learn from, I hope these can help you. So with that being said, look forward to our next meeting. Over and out for now. Bye bye.